What's up, everybody? It's your pal Joey.T. from the Cartoon.P giving you some news that's straight up hot from the press. We live in a day and age where we got cartoon reboots left and right, and up to this point, I haven't really cared that much as far as what's been released. Thundercats reboot? Sure, whatever. A She-Ra reboot? They got some images that posted during the week? Yeah, looks okay, but I don't care about She-Ra. This is what matters. We're getting a Rugrats reboot. I'm just telling you, Rugrats for me is one of my favorite animated shows of all time. I tried to make a recap series, but the copyright gods at YouTube said, "No, Joe, you cannot have that." So they strike that down with fury and vengeance. But you can still watch it on my Facebook page. I'll post a link in the description box below. So it's been reported already on many sites, so this isn't just a straight up rumor. There's 26 episodes that have been ordered by Nickelodeon, and a feature-length film that's featured in live action, with some CG animation, which I'll be discussing in a little bit. As far as a Rugrats reboot goes, I was kind of expecting this. There was a comic book reboot that came out that pretty much brought attention to the characters again, and normally when that happens, it's almost like they're trying to get people ready for a reboot. So in some ways, I was kind of prepared for this, because as far as properties go for Nickelodeon, Rugrats is like one of their biggest money makers. Now with SpongeBob we had 2 movies and there was a lot of space between those 2 films. Whereas with Rugrats, back in the 90s, we had 2 movies that went into the 2000s. We had a spin-off series. It was very successful. Rugrats is fairly popular. Rugrats was a big deal back in the day. It made a lot of money. So it is culturally significant and it is important to see them come back again. With the animated series, as most people have pointed out, it's probably going to have the look and feel of most modern cartoons today, which is going to be kind of odd for me considering that Rugrats had a very unique style, whereas it was made by Eastern European animators who had little to no influence to American animation, so they were kind of relying on their own visual style. So Rugrats was really like the introduction to Eastern European animation for a lot of people, including myself. If they do this reboot, I got 2 requests. 1, hold off on Dill and hold off on Kimmy, and then number 2, make Betty LGBTQ. Make her have a love interest that's another woman. Make her a lesbian. I mean, we all saw that coming, and nowadays you got the Loud House with their same-sex couple. Do the same for Betty. I don't even remember her husband's name. I think it was Drew, right? Yeah, nobody cares about him. I mean, let's be real. We all know Betty had the hots for Dee Dee. That was like the only reason why they hung out with each other. And I think it'd be pretty progressive to have that happen. I joked about how the style of most modern cartoons today have a very similar style, so I posted that on my Twitter page if you want to check that out. Quick sketches as to what I thought the Rugrats reboot would turn into based on what most modern cartoons look like. And that's as far as what I think about the new reboot. Definitely going to be watching it, looking forward to it. Now, the feature film. It's going to be written by David Goodman, who has a very interesting resume. For starters, he worked on Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, so you can thank the Hex Girls song to him. He also wrote both Fred movies, so there's that. It could go anyway, but the big thing about this film is that it's going to incorporate CG animation. Granted, when I wanted to see a Rugrats movie back in theaters, I would have preferred if they kept it traditionally animated. To me, I would have preferred if they kept it somewhat similar to the Winnie the Pooh movie that came out in 2011. But granted, we have a new Winnie the Pooh movie coming out, and that's going to be incorporating live action and CG. So I can imagine with a lot of executives, that's just the general trend. There's just no market for what the movie most fans want to see. It's not going to make as much money. They tried. I mean, My Little Pony and the SpongeBob movie, which incorporated hand-drawn animation, did okay, but it's almost like they're not ready to really push that back again. Who knows? The movie might be coming out in a few years, and there may be many changes coming to then. So, who knows? Early news, maybe there'll be changes in development. I just think it's going to be weird having the babies, because they don't specify as to who is going to be CG animated. If it's going to be like live action sets and all the characters are CG animated, that could work. That would be interesting. But if it's just going to be the babies being CG animated, to me, that's just going to remind me of the Garfield film where you have live action actors with some humans and then one CG character. Whereas it's just going to be like these 4 babies and Angelica who are CG animated. To me, that's just going to seem kind of weird. So, I mean, I think they're still going to settle on the visual style to see what works. That's going to be determined. Honestly, those are my thoughts. I'm really excited to see this reboot. I'm the biggest fan of Rugrats. In fact, I'm going to go out and say it's still my favorite animated series to this day. I rewatch it and I find something interesting. So it's great to see a new audience for this show. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Giving you the news straight off the press. I'm Joey T, and thanks for watching.